Hello and welcome to Talk a Good Game. It's just finished Fulham 5, West Ham United 0 at Craven Cottage. Before we get into the game, let's get the admin stuff done. Subscribe if you're new and all that. T-shirts 20% off. Beer mats £4 instead of $7.50. Prints 20% off on the website. Offer ends tomorrow morning, Monday morning at 8:30. So go get them if you want them. Anyway, let's talk about the game. That was fucking embarrassing from West Ham. Pathetic from David Moyes, embarrassing from West Ham. That's the worst we've played in a long time. I can't remember a performance that badly for quite some time. I mean, even last season when we were in a relegation battle, a lot of the games where we got beat convincingly by the likes of Newcastle and Brighton, they were bad, but the context was we were in really poor form going into this one. We win and we go 6. We could finish the weekend in 6 had we won today, but there was nothing out there from us at all. There was nothing tactically from the manager that looked like he was ready for the game. The players, half of them, looked like they couldn't be arsed whatsoever at all. The management of the game throughout from the players and the manager was just baffling as well. And what I will say, actually, credit to Fulham, because I'm going to go on and talk about West Ham a lot for obvious reasons. We're a West Ham fan channel. But I will just say credit to Fulham, absolutely deserved to win. We made it easy for them, but they absolutely killed us. They did 5-0, right? This is the worst thing. We just got beat 5-0. Usually, sometimes games like this can be a bit misleading. It could be that the other team's won and they scored a couple of late goals or something. And they have. Fulham scored a late goal in today's game. But 5-0, and it feels like a fair result. That's the worst. The worst thing is it feels like it was deserved, that the scoreline actually reflects the nature of the game as well. It was just pathetic. I say the worst thing. That was the worst thing. We actually started all right. The first 10 minutes, I thought we looked quite good. We were knocking the ball about quite well. I thought we were on the front foot. I think we were looking all right for 10 minutes. And then after that, nothing. There was nothing for the rest of the game. A couple of bits at the end, but that's because Fulham were 4 or 5-0 up at this point. They'd stopped playing. They were playing in first gear for the second half. They didn't have to get out of it. They didn't need to. Horrendous by us, but they scored, 22 minutes in, Jimenez. I mean, that one's always going to come back in Burma, weren't it? Because I said I didn't feed him. Do you know what? It's a good goal from him. The cross is fantastic from Polina, but there's just nothing. There's nothing from our midfield. There's fuck all from midfield whatsoever. We've allowed Polina to take as many touches as he wants, gets his head up. It's a fantastic cross. The pace on it, the accuracy onto Jimenez is beautiful from Polina. Glances it into the back of the net. Gerrard stood marking a blade of grass. But Jimenez has disappeared. He doesn't even fucking know. He's got absolutely no idea. Honestly, Gerrard is like Boris Johnson looking at his WhatsApp. He's got no excuses. He doesn't know why is that? Why those 5,000 messages disappeared? Dunno. Yeah, of course you do. Well, it's a bit like Gerrard. Where's Jimenez? Dunno. Where's he? Oh, he's over there. He's next to Roby and Alan Creswell. Oh, it's 1-0. Never mind then. It's just pathetic. But there was no presence in midfield. In this, we were going to get cut apart in midfield for the rest of the game. And I don't think the worst thing is the manager makes it worse at halftime. Fulham were, after 1-0, Fulham were in full control of this half. They were just passing it about. We had nothing about us. We're struggling to string a few passes together. Fulham were stretching the play. Their movement was fantastic. We didn't know what to do. We were just completely baffled as to how Fulham were playing. They made it 2-0. 10 minutes later, Willian with the goal. Gerrard tries a ball into Kudus. He gets cut out. Tosin comes in and wins it. I can't even recall. There's so many goals. I'm getting them all muddled up now. I'm trying to remember 5 goals that Fulham have scored. I didn't even see one of them, thank God. Comes out to Willian. Ball goes over to the right-hand side. I mean, you've tuned in for some fantastic analysis here, haven't you? Ball across. Now, Pereira, I think it is, puts the ball across. Iwobi shoots score. Misses it. It goes through his legs and Willian tucks it in at the back post. It's a good team goal by Fulham. It's just more embarrassing defending from West Ham. But again, there's just no midfield. There's nothing there. Willian tees up on the edge of the box, has a shot. Fabianski pushes it away. He does all right, Fabianski, push it away. But again, it's Pereira that's there. He's done well to keep himself onside from Willian's shot. He beats Creswell to it. And the worst bit about this is the Iwobi should have scored, missed it, and then Willian did. So while Willian scored, we got off with one already with Iwobi in the exact same move. It was just horrific. 3-0 10 minutes after that. Tosin Adebayo made it 3-0. I didn't see it. I missed it. I'm aware it was a corner, but I don't know what happened. The gods did me a favour and stopped me being able to witness anything else. Unfortunately, I was able to see the second half. I was hoping that was it. I wouldn't be able to see the rest of the game. But unfortunately, well, it would be like Leno. Leno actually didn't have much to do. He's seen as much action as I did at that point, which was nothing. There was nothing happening down his side of the game. 3-0 at half-time. It's game over at this point. I'll be honest with you. I was thinking just sub the players. Just take off Bowen, take off Paqueta, Ward-Prowse, Zuma, whoever it is. Just give a few players a break. But for some reason, he decides that in the first half, we're getting cut apart. Fulham are controlling the game. They're all over us. We've got absolutely no presence in midfield whatsoever. Kearney and Pelini are running the gap. We can't keep a leash on Iwobi, on Pereira, on Willian. Honestly, we can't keep a leash on them at all. They are like XL bullies. We needed to ban them because we couldn't keep them under control whatsoever. They were just cutting apart. So David Moyes at halftime, the genius, decides, you know what? I know what we're going to do. We're struggling in midfield against Fulham today. What I'm going to do at halftime is I'm going to take a midfielder off and make our midfielder a man less than there was in the first half. That'd be funny, wouldn't it? Souček and Ward-Prowse, who we've seen before today's game, can't play together in midfield without Alvarez. They can't do it. They've struggled against lesser opponents than Fulham this season, playing in that double pivot. It's unfortunate. Alvarez has gone to Craven Cottage. He's unwell, so he's not played. That's unfortunate. But the manager still decided to go with just James Ward-Prowse and Souček in there. What else could he do? Well, I don't know, but I don't assemble the squad. This is what happens if at the start of the season, during the transfer window, you decide to loan out your other defensive midfielder in Flynn Downs and decide that you're going to rely on Alvarez staying fit, being free of suspension, which is impossible, and not being impacted by international duty, which is also impossible when he plays for fucking Mexico. So Alvarez was always going to miss games this season. There should have been a plan as to what we were going to do without Alvarez. Now, at the start of the season, the plan was obviously to play without him. We'll just take out our defensive midfielder and just continue as if that didn't happen. But we've seen Ward-Prowse and Souček as a double pivot so far this season. It's crap. It doesn't work. Souček and Ward-Prowse can't get forward, so they can't influence the game further up the pitch, and neither of them can defend. There's no point in them being on the pitch, quite frankly. They offer very little in there. Nothing. Horrific partnership as a two, and really poor individually in that role as well. So Moyes' solution at half-time is make it even more difficult for them by taking off a midfielder and going three at the back. I don't know why he did it, but somehow we were playing we're now playing 5 at the back, essentially. We were even worse in the second half. We only conceded 2, but I felt that Fulham were getting further and further forward. They were all over us. We had absolutely nothing about us. We decided we were playing hoofball. Second half, we were just battering it along to Jared Bowen up against a 6-foot-plus defender. And we were just thumping long balls at him, saying, here, have a control of this. It was just, the tactics were baffling. 3-0 down at half-time is one thing. But to come out and alter things so it helps the opponents who are already 3-0 up is just completely stupid. I honestly don't get what David Moyes was trying to do at half-time. I really do not know. No clue whatsoever. He starts making change. I mean, he brought on Emerson and Mavropanos. So he obviously thought, 3-0 down, let's bring on the player that's also sick. Let's bring him on. That'll help him, won't it? On the hour mark, Wilson made it 4-0. They deserved it. They actually deserved this goal. It's a fantastic goal by Harry Wilson. But everybody watching this video knows, if you're marking Harry Wilson, what do you not do? We all know the answer. Don't let him cut in on his left foot. I should say he's got one check. That's a bit harsh. But Harry Wilson is fantastic at hitting it from outside the box on his left foot. We all know he can do it. So Emerson and Aguirre decide to let him cut in on his left foot. Both of them mark the line so he can't come down the side of the box. Yeah, brilliant. Nice one. Invite him inside. Fantastic finish. Fabianski can't do anything about it. 4-0 up. It's a deserved 4-0. We make more changes. Kudus, Zuma and Paqueta came off at Benrahma, Ogbonna and Mubama. I sort of get why you bring on Mubama and Benrahma and you take off those 3. I get it. Like I said, at 4-0, you might as well start resting players at this point. But he brought on Ogbonna. Now, this isn't a criticism of Ogbonna, but what I struggle to think of any benefit as to why we brought on Ogbonna. Why bring Ogbonna on? The only reason is to keep your mate happy. For David Moyes, just to keep Ogbonna sweet. That's the only reason he brings him on. Now, the last goal, and it's not, I mean, it's 5-0 at this point. I don't even know why I'm getting wound up. But it's a fantastic ball. Wilson's away from Emerson, through on goal. And Vinicuis is there to tap into an empty net. Now, when that ball was played to Harry Wilson, Vinicuis was about a yard or two behind Ogbonna. By the time he tapped it in, he was about 4 yards in front of Ogbonna because he can't move. He can't run. He's done. And we decided to bring him on. It was just, I don't know. Moyes got it wrong today. The lineup with that midfield was wrong. He got it wrong at halftime. I think he absolutely balls half. He couldn't have got halftime more worse, in my opinion. Must have had pies again. Whatever he did at halftime against Tottenham worked, and he's gone back to whatever it was against Crystal Palace. He must have had a pie again at halftime or something like that. But the players were horrific as well. While I think Moyes has got a lot to blame for this one. In this defeat, the worst thing about this is this defeat feels like it's been coming. There's been games we've won where you've got off with it, whether that's Bakatopola, whether that's Burnley. We got off with it in those games. We got lucky. And we've had some poor performances. So this one, I say not surprising. I thought we'd win today. Stupid me. I got carried away. We beat Spurs. Oh, here we go. We're going to go grind out another result. So that's the embarrassing part on me. That's me. Such stupid Gio. But I never expected it to be like that. The players today just looked like they couldn't be fucked. One of them did. I'll give him credit. Jared Bowen. Fair play to Jared Bowen. Worked his absolute bollocks off. Even at 4-0 down, he was still chasing absolutely everything up front. And him and Paqueta were getting pissed off at the lack of passing second. And this was another thing that's frustrating me. Went 2 up front because Kudus is up there with Jared Bowen. Start pressing. Paqueta goes to join in. And they're just passing it around Jared Bowen at one point. I thought they were almost still taking the piss out of Jared Bowen. Polina, Bassett, Tosin, Leno and goal. They were just knocking about, and Bowen was just running between them all, chasing it, with fuck all support from anyone. Paqueta half-heartedly joined in and threw a tantrum. No one was supporting him because it went into, I think it was Tom Kearney at this point, and he's turning running at Thomas Souček and James Ward-Prowse. The game plan wasn't there, but what they were trying to carry out, they weren't even bothering to do that. It was just pathetic from the player. The effort from the player, or lack of effort from the players today, was absolutely pathetic. The manager's going to cop a lot of flack. The manager deserves to cop a lot of flack. But there's a lot of those players that started today didn't look like they wanted to be there. It was 3-0 down. We're 3-0 down today, or maybe it was 4-0 down. No, we were 4-0 down at this point. They look like they wanted it more. Now, I hate that phrase, they wanted it more. I hate it. I just dislike it. But sometimes it's incredibly fitting. And today is one of them. They were putting in the tackle. They were still putting in the slide tackles. They were still going in hard on us. We looked like we couldn't be arsed whatsoever. We didn't want it. Bottled it today, we have. Just horrific display from the 11th minute onwards. It was just horrific from West Ham. There was nothing positive to come out of that. Bar Jared Bowen's work rate. And I've genuinely felt sorry for him because he was still trying. We know what it's like when you played in a game of football like that, when your team's getting smashed, but you're still going. You start to feel a little bit stupid. And I can forgive Bowen if he was to walk off there raging with the rest of his teammates. And I hope he is, because a lot of them did nothing in that game. Paqueta was awful. A couple of nice touches in the first half, but he was awful. His attitude was awful. Souček and Ward-Prowse were just anonymous completely. Ridiculously didn't want to be there. Finals actually looked okay for the first 10 minutes. I thought him and Paqueta were linking up quite well. Then obviously had to go off. The defence weren't there for half the time. Easy, too easy for Fulham. We got what we deserved. Like I said, we've got beat 5-0, and that's a fair scoreline. That's a fair reflection of that game today. A really bad performance from us, and it's been some time since I felt like that. Like I said, even last season when we were getting smashed a few times, the context was we're in a relegation battle, and it's hard sometimes to get up for games, and it's easy to let your head drop after you lose. That's why Nottingham Forest got beat 5-0 by Fulham. You could almost not have sympathy with Nottingham Forest, but you know how it happens when your team's in a position like that. Their heads drop pretty quick. They don't have much confidence. So it doesn't take much to get rid of whatever they do have. But for us today, winning, we go 6. It was a fantastic opportunity for us today. And credit to Fulham. I've already done that bit, but Fulham, credit to them, because I don't like it when people say we only win because the other team played badly. So I don't want to say Fulham only won because we played badly. They didn't. They were fantastic. They deserved it today. But we've taken that opportunity and pissed it right up the wall. And maybe that's what some of those players and manager at the club need, a little bringing down to earth. Maybe it's what I needed, bringing down to earth. Not good. Not good from West Ham. Not good from West Ham at all today. I hated watching that, actually. I absolutely hated it because there was no... We could play for another hour tonight and we still wouldn't score. I mean, Obama arguably should have done better with his opportunity. Ben Rama looked half decent when he came on. He was quite bright, actually. Credit to Ben Rama when he came on, but it was an easy situation to come on. When you come on when you're 4-0 down, it's almost difficult to not be better than the guy that you're replacing. But frustrating one. It's I say frustrating. It's a bit of a disaster today, actually. I thought Fulham played us off the park, deserved the win. We didn't even turn up, quite frankly. The manager's going to take, like I said, manager's going to take a lot of the blame. The players have to as well. Horrific from West Ham. Anyway, I'm going to shut up and disappear. If you're new to Hammers Chat, please subscribe, drop a like on the video. T-shirts, beer mats, the other ones are over there. Beer mats are on offer. £4 instead of $7.50, 20% off all prints. Offers end Monday morning, 8:30. hammerschatstore.com if you fancy grabbing some. I'll catch up with you tomorrow. Big week coming up for West Ham, actually. We've got Freiburg on Thursday. We need at least a point in order to win the group. And I know during the game, Tony Gale was saying we need to put it behind us and move on pretty quickly. Easier said than done, I think, because it feels like something like this was coming, and it's felt like that for a month or two now. The results have been good, but the performances haven't been. And it doesn't feel sustainable. It's a bit like Man United. I thought Bournemouth would beat Man United this weekend because their performances have been shocking, but yet they've been getting the results. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't think it is necessarily a good thing. I know that saying is a sign of a good team is when you don't play well, but you win. But I think that only counts if you do it now and again. If you play well 3 weeks and win, then you play badly the 4th week and win, then I think that phrase is applicable. But when pretty much all your wins come and that phrase is applicable, I don't think that's a sign of a good team. I think that's a sign of a lucky team. I think that's a sign of a bad team getting results. So today, I think we got what we deserved. And maybe not just for today. I think we got what we deserved for the last few weeks kind of thing. Some wins are papered over cracks. Listen, I thought we were brilliant in the second half against Spurs. I loved that win. I'm not going to change my mind off the back of it. Likewise, today, we deserve to get a hiding. And a hiding we got. Anyway, I'm off now. I'll catch up with you tomorrow.